Like it felt like I was leaving my family to begin with, because I had 2 great years with Motorbase. They brought me into touring cars. I won my first race with them, got on my first podium with them, and it was a relationship that I loved every second of. But I wanted to align this year with being in the right place at the right time. So when my engineer Jeff called, I think it was probably December-ish, to say that he was moving ship, he told me the plans for Team BMR, and I couldn't believe it. So I had to meet with the team owner, Warren, straight away. I met with Warren early part of January to kind of discuss the plans for this year, and it blew me away. Like, I almost couldn't believe it, and he has gone above and beyond everything he's promised. So it's far beyond the expectations I even had for the team to begin with. Because it's such a new team, everything is being shaped around the drivers. So between Alan and myself, we've quite an input into how the team is structured, which is great. Anything from staffing to garage layouts to what we really need to make this team work. So it's really exciting to be involved in this project, and I think I can really see a future with them. It's an entirely different car, the Passat CC, and like it didn't really take me that long to get used to, which is good. The slightly longer wheelbase kind of actually helped suit my style, so to speak. So I think our second timed lap in the car was quicker than anything I've done in the Focus. So things are looking promising. With the regulations, the wheelbase of it kind of suited the regulations. It plays to its advantage, so to speak. The lowest centre of gravity, I think, is what this car has as well, which is a big advantage. These NGTC cars are such a funny piece of kit that you really have to almost build a car to the regulations to make it as good as possible. You can't just go out and say, I like the look of a Bentley, I'm going to make this an NGTC car. You kind of have to read into it and see what works best. Usually, because with these NGTC regulations, without getting too scientific, but all the cars are quite similar, with the subframes and whatnot being the same. So the drag is one of the areas that cars can have a distinct advantage with. The Passat has the lowest drag coefficient on the grid, and it was between that, the combination of that and the Toka engine make it like a bullet. At the moment, no. So if you know anyone in Volkswagen, give them my number, please. So yeah, like it's something it's a connection that I would love to establish, because this team is brand spanking new this year. I think we're going to go out and everyone's eyes are going to be opened all around the world. So I'm hoping the phone won't stop ringing before the end of the year. Yeah, they all run to the same weight. Like I feel like a bit of a salesman pitching up in my Passat, but it's what's under the skin that counts. Like, it's kind of like the wing mirrors on the cars are the only thing we actually really use, to be fair. So it is a thoroughbred racing car, and it looks from the outside as a big bus of a thing, but inside it feels quite nimble. They all run to the exact same base weight, so it's not as if I've got in and been like, Jesus, this thing feels like a tank. It feels as nimble as the Focus did, for sure. We work together. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to go out and try and beat him as much as I possibly can. But I think I'll learn a load from him. Like, he's been in the game 30 odd years. I think he started racing before I was born, so he's a few years on me. But I think like our raw pace and speed should give him a run for his money. 100%. It's all I care about, to be fair. No, like, he's actually such a nice guy to meet, and he's loads of time for everyone in the team, which is great. But he's everything to lose, I've everything to gain. If I beat him, I am going to be recognised as one of the best in the world. But don't crash into each other. That's generally the golden one, I find. There's no real team orders, to be fair. Like, I expect to have to race Alan very hard, but I don't want to arrive on his door at the first meeting, because I think that would kick things off badly. But no, like, it'll just be fair. Like, it's kind of a case with anyone else on the grid, I would drive over my own mother to beat them. So, but with him and with my teammates in general, I'd give them a little bit of an inch. Not that much though, to be fair. So yeah, I'll make them work for it anyway. I find the front bumper gets you around most people, to be fair, but no, like it's more when you get by someone to make sure they're not just going to fire you off the next corner. Yeah, people always say to me, like, I drove here for this to listen to you speak. Like, what's the big deal? It's more like when you're in the car, it's the same temperature as a sauna, and your heart rate is close to 200 beats per minute, which is pretty excessive, as you can imagine. So the combination of being wrapped in your fireproofs with your heart rate so high, it'd be like doing, I don't know, like a quadruple spinning class in a sauna. And that's kind of the intensity of it. So it's when it comes down to, like, say, when we go to Open Park and it's like race 3 and it's 30 odd degrees and you're pretty tired, like for the second half of that race, it's nice to know that in equal equipment I can beat anyone. I think, say for example, when Michael Schumacher came into F1, he completely changed the game of fitness. When, you know, before him, the era of the James Hunts was kind of how drivers were perceived, and it was all well and good to go and have a beer with your mates on a Friday or Saturday night while racing. That's kind of why I want to reinvent the British touring cars and show people just how important it is. Already I've heard ushers from the other side of the garage saying, yeah, no, I'll get on the bike before the first race and do a bit of fitness. So it's a mentality thing to psych people out. And yeah, I think it's already starting to work.